Welcome to another episode of the Black Barbers Doc podcast. We have a special guest and a special person to my heart. Her name is Erica. How you doing today, Erica?
I'm doing good. How are you?
It is I'm doing great.
Good.
As we talk briefly off the mic, there's a lot going on in the world, but I'm just happy that you're able to be here in the flesh and talk to me about some of the things that this is a very unique episode because we're talking about some of the things in the barbershop that people don't talk about. That we're not talking about haircuts. We are definitely not talking about fades and conversation or fish fries and funerals is one of my episodes. We talked about end of life care. We are talking about how dope you are and awesome you are and what you did and what you introduced me to. And we're going to talk about you being an advanced pedicurist.
Okay.
Can you please explain to people what that is, why, and how, and just educate us?
Yeah. So we all go to school. Well, if you want to be a nail technician, we are so kind of thrown into nail salons and doing nails,
Mhm.
but we kind of never really focus on the feet. And when I was in school, I realized that there was a lot of people who had issues with their feet, like thick toenails and like severe calluses. And they would go to nail salons, but the nail salons didn't really have the right education to really help those people.
Mhm.
In fact, they kind of made their situations worse. So I got my extra certifications to really kind of hone in on those people, and I made an entire business just off of pedicures.
Really?
So we help people whether they are diabetic or they just have issues with their feet,
Mhm.
certain problems like I said, thick toenails, thick calluses, fissures, discoloration in the nails, and I'm here to help them and serve them.
So what's a fissure? What is
A
that?
fissure is when your calluses are so bad that they start to crack in the middle. Usually, you get them on the heels, and what happens is it kind of becomes like an open wound. So, if you're aggressively filing on them, they can bleed, and it's, yeah, pretty painful.
Okay, I just wanted to know what that was because I was familiar with everything else that you said, but when you said that, it just kind of threw me off. So let's dive right in on it. A lot of these barbers are standing up on their feet.
Yes, yes,
A lot of these barbers probably aren't taking proper care of their feet.
correct.
Now, I'm not a barber, but I know when you did have new feet, which was your business,
Yes,
and you transferred transition into doing more educational and educating people like different classroom like modules and things like that. We'll talk about that later. But let's just dive in on how can we help these barbers and what are some of the things that you've seen and just lay it on me.
yeah. So I'm glad that you reached out to me because this is a topic that really needs to be discussed. Not to be rude, but a lot of the barbers that came to see me, their feet were like on the top of the list when it came to having issues. One of those reasons is because they're on their feet all day. So you can find issues like on the side of the toes,
This
like
is our
have
little
yeah,
mannequin. This is our
little
little mannequin. We
mannequin.
didn't cut nobody's foot, just letting y'all
No,
know.
right? They have issues like calluses on the side of the toes, but more so on the heels. There's no heel, but on the heels, and that is just one of the issues. A lot of times they don't wear white socks for some reason.
I learned that from y'all.
You learned that from me, and hopefully the barbers are taking note as well.
I got white socks on now.
You
I
have
do.
on white socks
I
now.
got white socks.
You're taking notes. Okay, so but the black socks is a really big thing, especially if your feet sweat. And then when your feet sweat, you have on black socks, it makes the feet hotter, it makes them sweat more. And then when you're standing all day in moist socks, now you're prone to fungal infections. And that can cause issues like discoloration in the nail. If you don't take care of it right away, the nails will eventually fall off. And when they grow back, they'll grow like mushrooms. They'll grow up instead of out. Yep. So that is a lot of the issues that barbers have, and no one's talking about it. And it's not even just the barbers, it could be the person sitting in the seat. These should be conversations that are had in the barbershops. Foot care is important, especially if you have diabetes.
But but it goes back to several conversations that we have within the black community. That's not a conversation that we really have.
Mm-mm. No.
So when you had your business and you were more of the client facing aspect side of things, what made you want to get into this business to serve?
So when I realized that a lot of the people that had these issues had nowhere to go, When I realized that these people that had issues had nowhere to go, I'm like, well, I like solutions. I like creating solutions to problems. I've always been that way my whole life.
Mhm.
Now, if you were to ask me 10 or 15 years ago if I would be doing feet for a living, I would have told you were crazy. Feet have never even been my thing,
Okay.
and they're still not. But
Mhm.
helping people really is. And when I realized that there was a service there, when I realized that people needed this service, I just immediately like filled that void.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
remember when you got the salon, not the salon, when you got the advanced pedicures.
it was like a studio at first.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like a
it
little
was a
studio.
vibe.
Yeah,
And I would come in there, you be like, oh, his feet is like perfect. But it's
yeah,
just it was something in I know you mentioned don't mention the water pedicures,
waterless. Yeah.
waterless
Hmm.
pedicures, but that is something I just feel like as much work as I do on my feet and things like that, I just feel like as a man, like I should not I shouldn't um what's the word I'm looking for? I shouldn't shy away from taking care of myself. Groom
Yeah,
like the hair is fine,
yeah.
but then also my feet also need to be
Right.
taken
Well,
care
it's
of.
one thing to get a pedicure and get your nails painted red or just painted in general.
Mhm.
And it's another thing to have your feet groomed.
Yeah.
You groom your hair, you need to groom your feet as well. You can't neglect your feet.
Let's talk about the nail bed or the nails,
Okay.
because because you know when some people say, "Oh, that person has," as they say, crusty feet or whatever.
Right.
They might say that, but
Right.
I mean, well, we're not trying to offend anybody, but it's just how they kind of express themselves. Let's talk about how your nails can tell a story.
Okay. So they can tell many stories. One is diabetes. Not saying if you have discoloration in your nails that you have diabetes, but when you have diabetes, it makes you more susceptible to certain conditions and infections. So if you have something that's not going away, you might want to go ahead and get checked on if you're diabetic or not. Now, if you have, example, the whole callus on the side of the toe, that's just not going away. You file it and it keeps going, it keeps coming back. You might want to look at the size of your shoe. Are they even the correct size? A lot of times people don't wear the correct size shoe, and that all that friction and rubbing on the side of the toe is going to eventually cause a callus. A lot of the athletes, when I do a lot of athletes, they have those calluses,
Hmm.
and sometimes they even say don't reduce them to so low. A lot of times we want them to disappear, but if there's a reason why they're there, you don't want to eliminate them. You want to kind of keep them there, because what will happen is that your foot will get sore. So if I have like a basketball player and they're moving this way and that way,
Hmm.
you don't want to completely eliminate that callus, because then they're going to be sore. It's there for a reason. You have people who are obese, overweight, and that will probably have calluses in your on your feet, that are not going to go anywhere, because the proportions on your feet are just, let me back that up. um, if you have someone that's obese, you might have certain calluses on the feet that won't go away because of your weight. So if you lose weight, they may go away. So before you just start filing away at a callus, you have to find out why it's there first. Now, also with the nails, you might have constant pain every time you clip your nails,
I
right?
never thought about that.
Constant pain. Well, how are you clipping your nails? Are you clipping the corners so that the edges of your nails are growing in, which is creating ingrowns? So it's how you cut your nails as well. Another. Oh, this is a good one, especially for the Black community. I get a lot of men coming in and they're asking me like, "What are these dark lines on my nails?" And they think it's fungus. They think it's something wrong. Well, it's melanin in your nails. You can have melanin inside of your nails as well. Usually they look like little dark brown lines
Really?
that go up and down on the nails. Now, if they're horizontal, that's a different story.
Okay.
That can mean a lot of other things. It could be a nutrition deficiency. It can be go see your doctor if they're horizontal. But usually, if they're like vertical and they're like darker lines, it's usually melanin in the nails, and there's nothing you can do but embrace it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take in. I thought I knew what you did
Right.
and
It's more.
everything, but I like this episode is going to be very educational to a lot of people because in our community it's like a lot of things we just don't know.
Hmm.
So since you're a solution person, I'm a solution person. I see a lot of barbers cutting in Crocs,
Okay.
but then also I see barbers that have the foot mats
Yeah.
down there as
Yes.
well to kind of provide that cushion.
Yes.
So my question to you is, what type of solutions? Someone that's watching this? What solutions what maybe 3 or 4 solutions that person could do to help them?
Arch support is number one. You want to make sure, first of all, I know culturally we love our Jordans, we love our Nikes, but some of those shoes are not the best for our feet, especially as we age. So you might have been able to wear them when you were in high school, college,
Hmm.
but 30, 40 years old, you might want to kind of up your shoe game to something that's more your not your style, but for your foot health.
Right.
So whether that be arch support, whether that be remeasuring your foot size to see if it's the right size shoe, like I
Hmm.
said before.
Yeah.
Sometimes back then we didn't really have shoes that were wide; they were always so narrow. Now we have wider shoes, so you really want to find out the best type of shoe for you. Crocs, I'm not even gonna lie. I used to work in them, but if you're wearing them without socks, you might want to reconsider because I know that there's a lot of chemicals that are being released from Crocs, especially in the heat. So you might want to reconsider. But if you are using mats, those are always very good, especially if you're standing. Even if you have, I don't know if this is real or AI. You don't know what's real or
Hmm.
AI anymore,
Right.
but
True.
I seen this chair that kind of like swiveled around the barber seat.
Okay.
If that is real, I mean, that's awesome because you don't have to stand up the whole time. You can
I
actually sit down.
I have saw. So I don't think that is AI.
Okay.
Because well, that I don't know about the chair swiveling, but I do know that I've seen some barbers that sit down while they cut hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very few,
Hmm.
but um,
It's
you
an
know,
option if you have foot
yeah,
issues. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Also, another option if you're having issues with your feet is going to your podiatrist. They have a lot of times as we get older, the foot pads underneath our feet tend to deteriorate. And they're not as fatty as they used to be when we were younger. So you might start experiencing like pain in that area. So if you go to a podiatrist, they do have, it is an injection. It's not as scary as you think it is,
Right.
but you can actually they can inject a solution to help with your fat pads underneath your foot, which gives you more support and more comfort as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Your feet are your foundation, like for real. I have a foundation that's called that. Your feet are your foundation.
Okay. Anything else that you want to drop on
Right.
us?
Oh, what am I doing? Okay, so yeah, so I'm doing a lot. Of course, okay, yeah,
Always.
I created the medical pedicure, which is in collaboration with nail technicians and podiatrists because we go hand in hand to really
Hmm.
help people. I also have online modules and a certification. So if a nail technician wants to be more than just a nail technician, they can come get certified with me, and I will teach them everything that they need to know along the way to become a medical pedicurist. I also have Pedi Pro United. That's my latest event, and that is more so to unite this growing network, this growing field of advanced pedicuring. It's not just me; there's others out there as well. So now we can come together and learn from each other.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, you are always welcome on this podcast if you want to share
thank you.
anything, and I appreciate your warm spirit. But I also want to do this plug before I leave. So back in 2021, was it
Oh my
2022? I don't know.
gosh.
But back in
Yeah.
2021, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping sponsor the Black Barbers Doc podcast. I mean, Black Barber. Well, the podcast wasn't even the thing then.
No,
The Black Barbers Doc
it was a documentary.
screening
Yeah, the
of
screening.
the it's an actual award-winning film, and I need to put it out there. I this was the podcast was created specifically to be able to talk about the film,
Hmm.
but I've ran from it so much, and
Hmm.
I need to just really hone back into it and really get it out there more.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you and your family for sponsoring that, and we had a good
Absolutely.
time that
We
day.
had a great
We had
time.
a great time. It was a
Yeah.
little party at iPick,
I
and
looked my best at that
yeah,
event.
you was fly. You was fly. You was fly. So Yeah. So, is there anything else that you want to add before we um depart from this podcast?
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your growth.
I
I'm proud
appreciate
of
that.
you sticking with what you do and what you love. A lot of times it's difficult for people to do that. We get
Right.
so distracted, especially in this world.
Right.
We get caught in what everybody else is
True.
doing, and we kind of want to do that too. But you literally stuck to with what you're doing, and you are successful with what you're doing. That's why if you say, "Hey, Erica, I need you here," I'm there. I'm a
Absolutely.
busy person and
Yeah.
I
I
don't
know.
do
I know.
people have
I
asked
know.
for
I know.
interviews, I don't
You're
do
you're
it.
very
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like that
very,
too.
very and you do things very tastefully
Right.
and I appreciate that. So if you call me
That's my alarm, but go
okay.
ahead.
So if you call me anytime, I will be here.
Yeah.
If you have another topic that you want to talk about, as long as it has anything to do with feet
Right.
or whatever, business.
Yeah.
I mean, I've created a whole industry.
Well, we're gonna have to talk about that. I feel like we just got to get back in our flow of talking.
Okay.
There's a we gotta catch up.
Okay.
We gotta catch up.
We
She's.
got yeah, we got to catch up on the camera because that makes the best content.
I think we should. I think we should. I
I
think
think
that
so.
yeah. Well, Erica is a special gem to me. Her husband, her family, they're just beautiful people. So beautiful souls connect together, and we create magic. And she will be reposting this and all the great things. And I thank you for taking time out of your busy day
Absolutely.
for me, because time is money and money is time. So I appreciate it.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
And we will be wrapping this episode.
Yes.
Over and out.